Hello and welcome to the podcast, a podcast where we talk life, work and occasionally music. My name is Switchblades for Kids and the other half of the podcast.
My name is Blake Bentley. Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good,
how's
man.
It been? How's the kids?
They're kids, they're children. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, man. How you going, dude? How you going?
Nah, good, man. I've had, I would say, a very productive but not very hectic last couple of days.
That's good.
It's good.
I'll just quickly say at the start, this is going to be a short one.
This will be a short episode at 15 minutes. Look on your scrubber right now. When it says 15 minutes, either one of us is going to say time's up. Yeah,
pretty much. Like, actually, yeah. We're recording late because yesterday I had the big vomit bug.
Yeah.
I was spew everywhere. It was real bad. And I don't know when I went to sleep. I don't know when I woke up. It was in and out all day. Jackie was the same. Don't know how the kids survived. They just did. But
they get those super bugs, and they've got super immunity.
Apparently, because my son's all good, but Harper like vomited everywhere, like all night. And it was fucking hell. It was absolute hell. And then I was like, great. So it's not I thought maybe she ate something, right? But then it continued and continued and continued. I was like, nah, she got gastro. And now we got it. And I feel all right-ish. I ate food. But
you feel better today.
I feel better. I'm not vomiting. That's the main thing. I went, I think like almost 35 hours without eting. Because I didn't eat dinner the night before because I ate like a late lunch.
Yeah.
And I ate a lot for lunch. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna skip dinner.
You know what the worst part about not eating for 35 hours is you don't feel hungry until it's like last hour and you're like, maybe I should eat something.
I could literally eat everyone in this house.
Yeah.
I think I could cook you all up and eat all of you.
And then you're just like absolutely ravenous. I've definitely had those days where it's like, oh, I didn't eat at all yesterday. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, what's this weird feeling in my stomach?
You're like, hey, something don't feel right.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, I'm going to fucking destroy this cupboard.
Yeah. And then you do. And then you feel real sick again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that was me. Anyway.
Actually, speaking of not eating, my mate recently did a 4-day fast.
Ooh.
So he has been diagnosed with a lot of bad shit. One of them being the big diabetes, right?
Oh, yeah, not good.
Yeah, it's horrible. But he's got type 2. I think type 2 is the very, very common one. Type 1's like the real fucking bad one.
I think it's type 1 is like genetic, and type 2 is diet.
No, I think they're all they all can be genetic, and they all mostly.
Oh yeah, I have diabetes in my family, so I'm more likely to get diabetes. Yeah. But I think if I was to continue gaining weight, like if I hadn't started my weight loss journey, welcome to my journey.
Coming up to 4 months, yeah. Oh
yeah, if I hadn't,
but 4 months on the videos,
yeah. But if I hadn't started that, I think I would have very easily gotten diabetes. I could have already gotten it at some point.
Yeah. And
just maintained it through sugar.
Well,
without realizing.
Well, my mate did this 4-day fast, and he was like told by the fucking doc. He's like, "Look, you got diabetes," and he goes, "Oh, okay, cool. How do I fix that?" And he's like, "Well, you can take penicillin. Oh, not penicillin, fucking insulin." Excuse me. Oh, it's even worse. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I'm going to talk through it. Oh, my God.
You're not.
That is horrible.
No, you're not. That was funny.
So, yeah, he was told, like, straight away, is like, just get on insulin. It'll fix you right up. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. Let's what else can we do? And he's like, fix your diet. Fix your diet is the fucking easiest, not the easiest, but it's not the fastest, but it will fucking do wonders.
Yeah, but it's lifelong. It's lifelong, and you'll fix your diabetes.
Exactly.
You won't have to take
instead of just
anymore.
like fucking stabbing insulin into yourself all the fucking time. So he was like, okay, cool. So what do you want me to do? And he's like, well, I need you to lose a lot of weight. And he's like, okay. And he's like, here, I'll give you a diet plan. Here's fucking, you know, all this stuff. And he's like, cool, thanks, doc. He went home and he's like, so the doc told me to lose a whole heap of weight, so I'm just not going to eat. and for everyone listening, they're probably just going to be like, what the fuck? What an idiot. Why would you do fasting? Blah, blah, blah. Fasting, like when he told the doc after his 4-day thing, he said, yeah, I just didn't eat for 4 days. And he's like, oh, okay, nice. Well done. He didn't go like, well, you should have eaten. You needed this much. You needed blah, 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 and whatever. He was like, what you've done is used your entire body as its energy source.
Yeah.
And like there's studies about autophagy and fasting and what it does for your cells and how it actually like is really a good thing. Like you can fast. Like that's why we have intermittent fasting is a very popular way to diet.
Usually
but, like,
popular. I started doing it, but it just look, I could do it. I have no problems doing it.
Just skipping breakfast.
Still, yeah, pretty much right. But it's all just about like just limiting when you can have calories, so you just have less of them. That's all it is, really. Yeah, because you know what I mean. Because over the course of the day, like if you limit yourself to like a 4-hour window of eating, or like you know that's pretty extreme, but somewhere between 4 and 8 hours. Yeah. Most of the day you're not eating, which means, or it's also like not taking any calories, right? So you can only have water. Yeah, you can only have like black coffee. Yeah. Like that sort of stuff. So espressos and water. That's pretty much all I had, and gum, right? Espressos, water and gum. That's all I would have for like, I think it was like 18 hours a day. And then the rest of the 6 hours was eating, right? So I'd have lunch and then I'd have dinner and then that'd be it. But like, and yeah, it worked for me, but it's just limiting the, I still had lots of calories because I was still eating shit food. Yeah, that's the thing is like, it sort of has to be paired with obviously good food. You still need to eat well. Yeah. You can't have KFC for lunch and dinner and expect to lose weight, okay? and you're going, well, I'm following the timings. Yeah, but like, I'm only eating 6 hours. It's like, but you're having 4,000 calories in that 6 hours. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to lose weight. Well, there was a study done a long while ago. A dude literally fasted for nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 fucking years. He just did not eat. And obviously, after about a week, you know, I think it's about 4 days. 4 days or 3 days. Because he was a big fat man. Oh, he was a giant fat man. And wow! Because it's such a localized study. It's literally a study on one man and how he did not fucking eat for nearly 2 years. It's like, oh well, this is just a small case study, and this is not like actual science, and there's no whatever. You know what? This man literally didn't fucking eat for 2 years, and he got and he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive, and he lost almost all of the weight that he needed to. And now he's living at a fucking very healthy weight. And he's, Winnie, chill the fuck out, dude. He's just there having a terrible dream. Yeah, he's having a night terror. He's like, fuck. Nightmare. Not eating for 2 years. It's like, I can't eat for 2. What the fuck? He's losing it. But yeah, no, look, this dude fucking, if he can not eat for 2 years and go down to a healthy weight, and then just be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna resume eating. Bruh, like fuck, you've done it. You've life hack, don't eat if you're big and fat. No, but that's the thing. It's literally eat less, move more. That is how you lose body fat percentage. That's what he did. That's and because losing weight and losing body fat percentage is two different things, right? Oh yeah. Because you can lose weight by losing muscle mass as well. Yeah. But ideally, pairing gym with eating less, that's the whole moving more. Yeah. You'll still be building strength, building muscle, but losing body fat because ideally you want to be strong, right? You want to be able to live healthy and be athletic to some degree, right? Like exactly. Depends on. You still need to be able to pick up the fucking groceries. Right, like you still need to be able to pick both children up and run around the backyard in the pouring rain, right? Exactly. You still need to be able to do that. It's a very specific thing, but it's something I do. You need to be, like, anyone that's thinking about doing fasting, you still need to think about, like, your salt intake and the fact that because you're not eating, you are still expending calories while, and your body is still using up the calories from the body. So, you know, when you increase your activity levels, you can, like, just fucking pass out.
sort of thing, because you don't have any, like, your energy levels are still being sourced from your body, which is sort of slow to react to you fucking doing shit. So it's not like fast acting carbs where you're like, I'm just going to have a couple of lollies and then it's like, I'm fucking juiced up, ready to lift another 300 kilos. It's fucking like, oh, cool, I'm going to go for a walk. I need to do it slowly, or, you know, I need to just fucking, you know. Yeah,
I noticed. So when I was fasting, I noticed worse was morning shifts. Like, I'd be smashing coffee all day, like all fucking day. Yeah. Because it's like I have no energy, like, and I start at 6 in the morning and I don't eat till, like, you know, I don't get to eat till, I think it was 2.
Yeah,
I think it was 2 o'clock was my start of my eating, so I wouldn't get to eat till the end of my shift. So I'd have to go an entire shift of working with zero substance, with zero energy, because I hadn't had anything to eat.
Yeah,
I was living off caffeine, and I don't think that's much healthier, honestly.
It's, you know, it's something. I think so. Watching this dude, his name's he has a YouTube channel called What I've Learned. He did a 3-week fast. I think it was a 3-week or a 1-month fast. He found that excuse me. He found that when he upped his salt intake, he would literally just have water and salt, and he would just pour like a tablespoon of salt into a fucking glass and down that, and he found that his energy levels would just absolutely go fine. Like, he would track his, like, how good he was feeling and his energy levels, and they sort of coincided. Like, he'd be happier after having a whole heap of salt, and his energy levels were really good. And so he found that, you know, like, if you want to sort of maintain fasting, just make sure your salt levels are good, because that's sort of, like, I don't know, your energy. I don't know how to really fully explain
I don't know how
that.
sodium works, I might have to read up on how sodium works. Talking about reading up, Zach. It's a short episode, but
break out the fucking financial newspaper. It's DadChat for.
Look, I just want to quickly bring attention to it, right? Like, I think last episode we talked a lot about trying to actually get on top of finances, and I want to be successful. I want an empire that rivals the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, that's my life goal.
Peak half the world. You realize?
Yeah. Yeah. That's my life goal. You see, and if I make it like even 0.1% of the way, I'll probably be pretty happy, because that 0.1% of the way means I probably own a few houses and a few businesses, right? I'd be pretty happy with that.
When my goal, shoot for the moon and you hit the stars, you're still done pretty well.
You're still in space.
Exactly.
Okay? You're still in space. So unfortunately, this is a short episode. We won't talk much about it, but over the next, I would say 12 months.
Yeah.
I would say over the next 12 months, yourself and Kim and myself and Jackie, we're all reading up and learning. We're learning on how to be rich. It sounds dumb.
No, I wouldn't say it's how to be rich. I would say it's how to just be educated with money.
Yeah.
Because
I also want to be rich, but I feel like that's
poorly educated.
I've had none.
I feel like being rich is like the result of being educated.
It's like a fucking it's like a symptom of being financially literate, right?
Right.
Like, you're like, oh, you're financially literate. You just have a lot of money. Like, because you just know how to not waste money at this point.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've already noticed it, man. My bank account is looking so fucking juicy.
There you go.
And we've only been doing it for a month. Like,
there you go.
And I just look at the bank, and it's ridiculous, because I was like, oh, when do I get paid? I was just like, oh, not this week, next week. And I'm like, normally we have fuck all money at this point. And we're like hanging on for Jackie's pay, which is like minuscule, because she gets like a little bit from her work and a little bit from Centrelink, right?
Yeah.
And it's like minuscule normally. And we're like just making it until my pay. Whereas currently we're sitting at like 3 times as much as we normally have.
There you go.
Yeah, and I'm just and we have our bills account, so we have money in the bills account. So it's ridiculous, just taking notice of like our spendings and not wasting money. We still go out, and eat.
Yeah,
I took the kids to fucking arcade, which is where we probably got the gastro from, on the weekend, almost definitely, right? I still took them to the arcade. I still spent $60. You're looking at the time. Oh my god! Look, we'll go over a couple minutes, okay? It's fine.
I was gonna say, look, you know what? Time extension 5 minutes.
Yeah, time extension 5 minutes. but no more. Fine. No fucking more. Okay.
Go on.
But yeah, you know, like the fact is just reading about how money works, not wasting it. And it's like, what the fuck are you going to say it?
That's it. Time's up. That is it. Time is up. 15 minutes have gone out.
Okay, time's up. No. Time's up. No, you've said it. Time's up.
No. Anyway, what I would say is just before you go on any further, just to preface everything that has already been said about what we're talking about, which is having a financial education. We should state the fact that we're both reading the same books. We're both reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The Barefoot Investor. Both of these are like bestsellers in both, like in the world, pretty much. I'm pretty sure Barefoot Investor is a worldwide bestseller.
The best thing about Barefoot is it's very Australian market. Because he's an Aussie boy, he's a farmer. Yeah, like it's all about, you know, what we can do in Australia more so, because a lot of the Rich Dad Poor Dad stuff is American like demographic. So of course you can. This is what I'm just reading as much as I can and just filtering in what works for me and then filtering out what doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's how you're supposed to take in any sort of self-help book or any sort of educational book. You're supposed to, you know, glean what you can from, you know, whatever you can and absorb it. And the rest, if it doesn't apply to you, man, there's no point in reading it. Man, I've looked at entire chapters and I've gone, I'm not going to read that chapter or I'll read the first couple of pages. And if it doesn't fucking apply to me, man, I don't give a fuck. Because if it doesn't work, I'm not going to fucking waste my time reading an entire chapter on something that's not for me. That's right. But to sort of, you know, put the gold star on it, guys, we're going to be obviously talking about finance, or at least like money and the education of it, because I think everyone should have it. I think everyone should have it too. It might not look, it's honestly.
Not taught.
we might have to make another podcast for that. It might genuinely have to be its own thing at some point. But we'll just sprinkle it in.
I just remember the name. Yeah.
But we'll just, you know, we'll sprinkle it in here for now.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably just do weekly updates on how we're going, because like I'm looking at opening a business. Like I'm looking at making my first, like shares investment. Like, but when I say first, I've invested in shares. I've invested in crypto. Like I've done that before, but this is a proper Jackie and I educated, like, shares investment. Like, it is not me by myself throwing money at a wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah.
It is Jackie and I both agreeing on a share to buy because we've both read up on what it is and why we should buy it. Like, that's literally it.
Yeah.
I want to keep like a fucking spreadsheet on why I bought shares as well. So whether it was like, if it was genuinely like an emotional buy, or if it was, there was an actual reason, or there was something I heard that made me buy it. Because later down, like, I'll forget about it. 10 years down the track, 5 years down the track, 1 year down the track, whatever. If it blows up and I'm like, fuck, why did I buy that? Like, I can at least know why. If it doesn't blow up and it's sitting there and it's just sort of been stable the whole time but not really grown, I'd be like, why the fuck did I buy that shit? Like, at least it gives me something to go back onto. So I can fucking educate myself on more shit.
Yep.
That's all it is, I feel, at the end of the day. I feel like it's just, we need to learn as much as we can so that I'm sick of struggling with money, honestly. I'm sick of struggling with money.
I think everyone, anyone would be. If you're like me, you're fucking 30 and you realize that there was a couple of bad years and you've just gone, where the hell did all that money go?
Yeah, and then, couple bad years.
Well, there's a thing of like, I had to look back through, because I already had ING accounts made. These are just like, I don't know what you call them. They're just savings accounts. And they had money in them at one point. I had 3 accounts and they all had nearly $1,000 each because I had just left it in there. And I was just like, oh, cool. And at one point, I just took it all out.
Oh, and you don't know why.
And actually, I think I do know why. I think I put it all into an app called Raise, which is just
which was Acorns or something.
Yeah, and all it does is it automatically separates divvies up all the money and puts it into stocks.
Yeah, it's just an investment app. Yeah. They utilize your money, but you put your money into the thing, and there's a fee, and blah 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 blah, or whatever it is. I don't know if it's a 0 fee. I can't remember.
I think it is monthly, but it's like fucking $5 or something like that. But looking at it, because, you know, I started in 2018, I can look back at the all-time thing on Raise about where I've taken out money out of that as well. And it's like, oh, cool, this is where we hit 5K. And that's where I took about $4,000 out for I don't know what. And then it's like, and then it builds back up again. And you're like, man, I really am saving my money. There it all goes again.
Yeah. and then, if you had not touched it, how much better would you have been? Dude, you know what I mean?
I'd have like 15, 20K right now.
Yeah. That's the thing. So the idea,
that's what happens.
This is, just quickly, before we go into the album of the week, that I did not listen to, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. I did listen to the artist. Anyway, my idea, right, is that every dollar I invest, I'm not taking out. That's my goal, right? Is that every dollar I invest, I'm not taking out. I said this to you, and I think I said this last week too, is I don't want a paycheck. I want to just learn how to make money in other ways. I want to not have to worry about money, and I want to just have as much assets as possible so that I can buy more assets, as in cars, with my assets.
There is a certain...
Car's a liability, but I want to find a way to make it an asset.
There is a certain quote that I realize that you keep saying, and it is, I don't want to work for money. I don't want to work for a paycheck. Wait,
what does he say? Does it say that on the front?
No, it doesn't say on the front. It's like the first fucking chapter.
Oh, is it?
It's like literally the first chapter.
Yeah, that's what I think I said that. Because he talks about he worked for free at his friend's dad's convenience store or something. And that's what I
here's the other one. Get this one as well, guys.
That's a good one.
I don't know if you'll see what I'm looking at, but that's a $1 bill.
That looks burnt.
It's so old, dude. I found it in
that looks disgusting.
It's old. It's just old. It's like it's got rust all over it. Look at it.
That's filthy.
It's not. It's not. It's just rust. It is rust.
That's filthy.
Oh, shut up.
So, long story short, we're gonna put weekly updates on how we're going.
Yeah.
We might turn it into another podcast eventually if it gains traction. I don't know.
I would say this is anyone out there right now that is like, oh man, I like that these guys are, you know, starting to look after their money. This is your call to action right now, just to buy 2 books. Buy 2 books. I think I spent fucking $20 on 2 books. And it was The Barefoot Investor and Rich Dad Poor Dad, and begin to just learn about money. And even in The Barefoot Investor, it literally tells you what to do. Gives you steps on like do this.
I've saved so much money already, like hundreds a month already.
Yeah,
like just in I'm not even talking about all the fees from my bank accounts and stuff. Like I'm just talking about like simple things that I never had to actually spend money on. Hundreds a week at this point, honestly.
Yeah, there you go.
Like I said, like my bank account is 3 times more than it usually is at this point of my pay cycle. Like I'm actually at a point where I don't think we're living paycheck to paycheck now.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like we've gone from living paycheck to paycheck to not.
I think there'll be a lot of people out there that want that, or they want to sort of just get better at it. So,
and they just don't know how. And they just don't know how to do it.
Exactly.
Because who does if you don't get taught it? But anyway.
Exactly.
Look, Zach, what did we listen?
You know who's rich? Rage Against the Machine.
You know what album's really good?
Rage Against the Machine? Or was it Evil Empire? Let me tell everyone. Blake didn't listen to the right fucking album. Blake didn't listen to the right fucking album.
We talked about Evil Empire the whole time, and then I think last minute we changed it to the self-titled.
Yeah.
And in my head, I went away from that just going, yeah, we're listening to the Evil Empire.
Yeah, we're listening to Rage Against the Machine. The album's called Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, we're listening to Rage Against the Machine. Blake listens to Evil Empire.
You know what's good though?
We get a really double up in album reviews.
Actually, no. You know what's even better is that I listened to this. My dad must have had this album.
Yeah,
because I went through every song just before we hit record, and I know every single song. Yeah. I fucking wish I listened to the right album, because my god, dude, the nostalgia hit every time I hit next. Oh my god, this album's so good.
Well, you know what? Let's start with you and Evil Empire. What did you think of this? This is part 1 of the album of the week. Look, coming to you live from the podcast.
Man, Evil Empire's alright. Like, it's good. Bulls on Parade is really good. The rest of the album, like, it's nice. Like, I won't lie, I wasn't the biggest fan. If I'd listened to the self-titled, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a better album.
When they bring out the Matrix song, Wake Up, bro.
Dude,
So if you could give it, if you could give Evil Empire like a baby rating, what would you reckon?
No, look, it's not bad. It's probably
out of 5.
Oh, out of 5
because it's a baby rating. We didn't listen to the album.
2. Probably a 2.5.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I would have given it a 5 out of 10, so I said 2.5.
Yeah, look, there you go.
It's all right. Awesome. Like, Bulls on Parade's really good. Nah, you know what? Bulls on Parade's on there. I bump it up to a 3 out of 5.
If you know what, if Bulls on Parade was on the Rage Against, like, the self-titled album, just an 10 absolute out of 10. Fucking 10 album. It'd be 10 out of 10. Yeah.
I just quickly went through and listened to a lot, and I remember the start of almost every song as soon as it started. So I was like, I must have listened to this as a kid because it came out 2 years before I was born. Came out in 1992. And I tell you what, it's a fucking banger. This album is great, but you tell us about it because I can't really give it a great, because I just remember it from nostalgia.
I've got only fucking 4 words. Killing in the name of is 5 words.
but the song is called Killing in the Name, so you're good. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well then Killing in the Name. It's such
dude, my mum used to walk around, like, she told me when she was a teenager, she used to walk around singing that song in the house.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah. Because when I say I was born 2 years later, my mother was a teenager when I was born. So she said apparently when she was like 14, because I was born at 6 when she was 16. Said, when the album came out, she used to walk around. Fuck you! I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. My dad was the same. My dad was absolutely the fucking same. I think when Big Day Out back in the day, fucking like ages ago, this would have been like early 2000s or late 90s. Big Day Out had Rage Against the Machine as their, like, I think they were like headlining. I think they went and seen them when I was just like a little kid, and I didn't understand. You don't understand things when you're a little kid, but I talked to them about it fucking later, and they're like, Rage Against the Machine. We saw Silverchair when they were like this tiny little side stage. They seem like heaps of these acts that are now just like these household names. Yeah. But they were like playing the shitty side stages. They only had an album out, and that was it. And they were just like little kids. Remember, like, Silverchair were kids when they fucking started, and they were pretty much just out of being kids to get on Big Day Out sort of shit. Yeah. For anyone else that doesn't know what Big Day Out is, it is just a big music festival. It was a big music festival. Yeah. But
sad times.
Honestly, to keep it very short, this album is extremely influential
by so
political fucking rockers that like were like, if you just look at the cover, do you understand what the cover is?
Is that Gandhi?
That is a monk that poured fuel all over himself and lit himself on fire in protest.
Wow, what a guy.
He sat there and lit himself on fire. And there's like that. So there was a lot of video of that. Like, you can see the video of it. It's like history sort of shit. I can't remember what he was actually protesting. It was probably fucking protesting China fucking invading Tibet at the time. Yeah. But yeah, there was this one photographer that just took a picture of exactly what the album cover is. I think at the time, Rage Against the Machine just seen the picture and was like, that's the album cover. That's it. We're taking it. And they were told, that's copyright, bitch. And then they said, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And they wrote, would you believe they wrote a whole song about it? No, they're very politically fucking motivated as a band. Obviously, I don't know if you remember I think it might have been a couple of years back or just recently, they were nominated to
yeah,
you know, for the BBC. They were nominated as like that, so they beat out an actual Christmas song for the end of year sort of like
wow.
It was like I think it was like, I can't remember the actual story is, but like they beat some fucking shitty Christmas song by mainstream pop that was generated by fucking corporations sort of shit.
Generated by AI.
Exactly. And so the people voted for Rage Against the Machine to fucking win this, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, hey guys, can you perform you know, a song? I was like, yeah, can we perform Kill in the Name? And they're like, yeah, sure, all right, but you can't swear. You can't do the end bit. You can't say, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. So they were like, well, what are we going to do? I would say, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah.
I won't do, you know, and that would be the fucking, that would be the bit. When it got to that point, they just fucking, Zach, the fucking, the lead singer, just looked at the rest of them and was like, I'm sending it. And fucking absolutely let loose. They got their broadcast cut. And they went back to like these two reporters sitting at the desk, and they're just like, sorry to interrupt the broadcast, and then yeah, so they just kept on rocking, and then they had like an interview afterwards and shit like that, and they were just like, mainstream sucks.
They're like, hey, the man, and
that was the thing, man. That because they're still at heart like Tom Morello, fucking and like just all of them really. They're all fucking like anti-establishment. They're true fucking punk rock, man. Or fucking. I think at one point they were fucking labeled reggae. Would you believe?
Oh no, I do. I think I remember that. Yeah.
Really early on, they were like political reggae.
Yeah,
which is wild.
I think I remember something about that. Like, I think that's from Dad as well. Like, honestly. Because like I said, I used to listen to Rage Against the Machine as a child. Like as a small child. So I mean, like playing all these songs, it's just like, I was like, I fucking heard this album. Like I've heard this album before in my small childhood. Which is funny because when you look at the lyrics on a lot of these songs, you're like, some shit child be listening to this shit. Probably not, but no, I'm real sad that I'd listened to the wrong one, and I'm probably going to listen to this album tomorrow just for the sake of listening to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you rate it? What do you give it?
This album, it's like a 9.5.
I was going to say, because honestly, without even like listening to it again, because knowing that I have, especially when I go through it, I was like, I know every fucking song. This is wild. The nostalgia hit is insane. I without even listening to it again, I'd give it an 8. And then I bet you after I listen to it, I'd give it a 9. Yeah,
you'd be punching through your steering wheel going, wake up!
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of which, the Matrix fucking, what do you call it? It's the end credits song.
Dude, so good.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's so good. What a good album. How the fuck did I listen to the wrong album? And the fuck it's so much worse. Still good. Like, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not great. If you want to listen to Rage Against the Machine, you listen to this fucking album because this is Rage.
Yeah, that's it.
In my opinion, this is pinnacle Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, yeah.
Killing in the Name is like the most iconic song from Rage Against the Machine.
100%, 110 fucking percent.
It's
you don't think of Bulls on Parade. You think of fucking Killing in the Name.
You think of fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah, that's like saying like Nirvana not being known for Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that. This is what they were known for, sort of shit.
Yeah. Yep. Also,
overall,
Wake Up. It's really good.
It's really good. Because as soon as you hear the start of it, you're just like, oh
you're pumped.
Yeah.
You're fucking pumped. Like, I just put it on before, like, oh, man.
Get this, I was driving to work, and I was literally about to go into the gates, and the song started up, and I was like, oh my god, this is on this fucking album? And I just, like, turned it up, and I'm like, so where the little pass, like, beepy thing is, there's a speaker there. It is always on, so that whatever you say, they can hear. Yeah. And we didn't know this. One day, man, fucking, we've got 4 people in a car and we're just rolling up. And there was a chick at the fucking, like, like just sitting in the security box, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember who the fuck was next to me. They're like, oh, she's all right. And then she just looks at us and she smiles. And I was like, oh shit, she can hear us, dude. And she's like, and so I knew that he could hear it. So I had it like blaring and fucking was like beep. And it just, you know, as loud as it could possibly be, just fucking straight into that security box. Yeah. And this old man's like, he's like, I remember the Matrix.
Yeah, I was there for the Matrix.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. Overall, this is a fucking tip-top album. This is a must-listen sort of fucking album.
Good album.
Yeah, this is like up there with the fucking Beatles sort of shit. Like you just got to listen to this shit.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Listen to Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And fuck the government.
Fuck the government and I'm in the government. Fuck the government. This is your daily reminder to commit tax fraud right now. Steal from the government and big corporations. There are two massive fucking corporations. I'm about to blow the fucking lid off them. They're called BlackRock and Vanguard. And they own everything between the both of them. Everything in the world.
Wow.
I'm not talking like, oh, they just own Coles and that sort of. They own fucking everything in the world. BlackRock, Vanguard, look it up. I just found it out myself and I've just gone, wow, I'm completely disillusioned to the whole, oh yeah, I can have an empire. Like, you know, Trump thinks he's got like a lot of money. Yeah. These are people that will never these are lizard people, like, that will never fucking die. That own like everything, man. It's nuts.
Lizard people that never die.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. You think there's like little like people that fucking you know, wear robes and control like the world, like the Illuminati. Yeah. And you're just like, nah, man. They're called BlackRock and Vanguard, and they fucking do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Besides all that, you know what album we're going to listen to next?
I don't, Zachariah. Oh, real quick. My wedding ring don't fit on my ring finger anymore. It keeps falling off. I have actually, because I've lost weight.
Holy shit, you got to get it resized.
It's a good thing, but yeah, you get it resized. Same with this one. I have to put it on the fucking rings now.
Damn. That's awesome. That is really good.
It's annoying, but it's good.
Yeah, that's really
good. It fell off at work today, and I was just like, all right, that's it. It's just not even...
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even stop.
That's a good problem. That's a problem you want to have.
Yeah, I know. This one is actually difficult. But anyway, what are we listening to, Zachariah? Sorry, I saw the ring in my camera. And I was just like, oh yeah, it's on the other hand. It's on the other finger.
This week, we are going to listen to someone who has been quite prolific in new artists and like groundbreaking
I would
production.
say quite influential for us as well.
Yeah, 100%. He runs I think it's weekly beat battle, where he gets entries in from producers all around the world, and him and a guest host, you know, judge, and they compete for fucking like $10,000 sort of shit.
Yeah, does he still do it?
Yeah, he still does the beat battle, yeah.
I need to watch that.
But the thing is that like it works up in a season, and then he has the grand finale.
I watched the grand finale of season 1, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was really good. It was fucking really good, man. All of the guys that were on there were really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first one where Spell, I think he came third or something like that.
Oh, that was the one I watched. Yeah, Spell came third. Yeah.
Spell. If you don't know, we're not listening to Spell.
I can't remember the dude who won. I can't remember.
No, neither. No,
I remember his dance.
But we do remember the host and an absolute fucking genius producer. He's really good. He has a small show called the Cave, where he gets guest rappers in, and you know, does like one-off songs, just like what do you call them? Like they're just fucking like, here, get in the booth, fucking freestyle, and here's a beat, you're done.
Yeah. The Cave. What do you call those?
It's just freestyling over a beat.
Yeah, essentially it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, Kenny.
It's Kenny Beats.
Yay!
Round of applause. Kenny Beats, and we're going to be listening to his solo album that he just recently put out. I think it was like last year, called Louis. And this is just him for 33 minutes, just letting his brain out on a CD. It's great.
Because he doesn't do vocals. He's not a vocals kind of guy.
No, he's just a producer.
He's a producer, but a producer and DJ.
Yeah.
What a guy though. He makes some fucking good beats, man. Like honestly, when I think about it, like he's done a lot of stuff with Ski Master Slum God, makes some really good shit with him.
The Zach Fox stuff, man.
Zach Fox, yeah. Square Up and
Square Up. I got depression.
Yeah.
Jesus is the one. Actually, you know what? Before you after you get off the listening to us, okay, just type into Spotify, fucking I got depression or Jesus is the one.
Just Zach Fox.
Zach Fox. I'm pretty sure even just ZACHFOX, Zach Fox. You will listen to some of the funniest and sometimes really it's really good music as well. It's
Zach
so
Fox
good.
Has actually he's released more music, by the way.
Yeah, he has.
Zach Fox has an album. He's released an album.
Yeah, dude. We should listen to that. We should listen to that next.
Yeah, we should.
Kenny Beats and Zach Fox, and then we'll integrate both of them with I got depression and
For anyone who doesn't know, Zach Fox is a comedian.
Yeah, comedian who formed into a rapper.
He tweeted at Kenny saying, "Can't wait to get into the studio to make this hot beat" or something.
Yeah.
And Kenny's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He DM'd him bro, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Now we gotta do it."
Yeah, that's it.
So then he went in for a fucking cave episode and created this hot track called "Jesus is the One" (parentheses I got depression in parentheses).
Yep.
What a banger! It's got 43 million streams on Spotify. Goes for 1 minute and 52 seconds.
Yeah, it's worth the listen. I've listened to it countless times. Oh,
hundreds, thousands. Yeah. I've watched it be made hundreds of times.
Yeah.
I've watched that episode so many times.
And even, I think after that, they did Square Up, which is a full video clip.
Dude, Square Up is so good.
Yeah, full-on music video. It's fantastic. It's absolutely perfect. Recommend everyone listen to Kenny Beats and Zach Fox, the collaboration between them. But for this week, because we are keeping it short, we're at the 42-minute mark and 9 seconds right now. We are going to wrap it up. Make sure you listen to Kenny Beats by Louis by Kenny Beats.
Are you saying that's a B specifically?
Yes, because you listened to Evil Empire instead of the self-titled album from Rage Against the Machine. You goose. You silly goose.
Fuckhead.
I'm a big fuckhead. That will be it from all of us here at the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to see more of the podcast, make sure you check us out on Instagram and YouTube. There is a TikTok page up. Don't know if it's getting used. There is shorts still to be made.
Yeah, look, I need to get back on top of that. Back on top of that.
If you want to see more of Blake Bentley, make sure you check him out on Spotify to check out that hot track, Late Night Texting. Hit him up on YouTube. Hit him up on, because you don't do Twitch anymore, it's now YouTube.
If I do stream again.
If you do stream, make sure you get there soon. And make sure you follow his fitness journey into just losing heaps of weight and fucking getting heaps strong on Instagram and TikTok at Blake _ Bentley YouTube. Oh yeah, because it is on the shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
There you go. And if you want to see more of me, make sure you hit up Switchblades for Kids, all one word, everywhere you can find me. I am very SEO friendly, I found out. Because having one word name that is really long and complex, boom, that is how you survive in the algorithm.
Yeah, because you search that and you're always going to be the first one that comes up.
Exactly.
You'll always be the first one that comes up.
Whereas sometimes when you search the Prodcast, you'll get another podcast, which is also called the Prodcast, but we're called the Prod.cast. Not the same podcast.
There's also multiple the Prodcasts.
There is. But that doesn't matter. We are the Prodcast.
Yes, Prod.cast.
Yeah. Guys, if you like to listen to it, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, do whatever the fucking buttons are, hit those notifications, the bell, ding, fucking other noises and words. Do things.
Loud noises.
Make sure you're productive in your days and sleep well at night. Get on to saving money. Be a good person. Pat a dog. Kick the cats. And
Or kick the dog and pat a cat.
Dead, you know, shaking babies and kissing hands.
Babies.
That's it. Let's go. Hey, Blake, you want to go and shake some babies?
Yeah, I'd love it. Let's go.
All right. We'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.